Hi everybody, this is Shay-lon with Topic Tuesday. Hope all of you are having a wonderful Tuesday so far. It's raining, so mine sucks. I didn't do a workout video because I forgot. So I'm at home and I decided instead that you guys will hear me talk today about a topic of my choice that I've written about on my blog. Today's topic is, if I lift, will I get bigger muscles? And this is a fun topic because not many people know much of what I'm about to tell you today, but hopefully you've learned something after I'm done. Just for a heads up, before I graduated in exercise science, I didn't know any of this. So don't feel stupid if you don't, because many people don't. And things change. I'm always constantly having to learn more and more and more. So what I learned in college, things might have been in now things might have changed where it's a little more advanced, there's more information or more research or studies or what have you. So, if what I'm saying doesn't match up to what you think or what you're saying, then we probably learned at two different times or things have changed or what have you. So don't get mad at me if the information you feel like I'm saying is false. It's not. Actually, in saying that it's not, because I'm referencing one of my textbooks for my former classes that had to do with my major before graduating. So, it's not false. I'm not going to be telling you guys bullshit stuff. So, okay. So, there's hypertrophy, muscular endurance, and strength training. I'm going to try to keep this video short for the sake of all of you. Hypertrophy. That is what is going to build your muscle mass. So that's the growth in your muscles. That's what people call the show, because you can look like you have big muscles, you can look like it and not be strong at all. That's hypertrophy, because you can build your muscles to whatever size, you want pretty much, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're strong. It doesn't necessarily mean, and it doesn't translate to strength. Hypertrophy does not translate to strength. That's what I'm trying to say. Then there's strength. That's okay, you have big muscles, or you might not have big muscles, and you're still strong. That's you being able to pull strength. Like, you're strong. You can actually say you're strong. You're not just muscle and all talk kind of thing. And then there's muscular endurance, which a lot of people don't really pay much attention to, I guess, because they assume that it isn't important, but it actually is. So hopefully after this minor conversation, you'll want to work on your muscular endurance a little bit more, because a lot of people have sucky muscular endurance that I've seen. Yeah. That's a lot of what CrossFit is too, muscular endurance exercises. Okay, hypertrophy. So hypertrophy, what I just said, muscle mass, that's what makes you look like you have big muscles kind of thing. If you do hypertrophy training, you should be doing about 8 to 12 reps. People use 10 reps because that's like the safe word. That's fine. As long as it's between 8 to 12, that's, minimum to maximum before you're starting to train something totally different. Like I said, if that's not according to your book or according to your degree, then, we probably learned at different times or different years or whatever. And it's typically 1 to 3 sets. So, 1 set of 8, 1 set of 12, 1 set of 10, or 2 sets of, and so on and so on. So as long as it's between 1 and 3 sets and 8 to 12 reps, and you're doing an intensity of 70 to 85%, as far as intensity of whatever your load is, 70 to 85% is typically hypertrophy training when you're doing it the way that I'm telling you. So for people that don't know how to do their percentages, I'm not going to go into all of that in this video to save time, but I always tell people the quickest way, if you're just so dumbfounded you know nothing, it's not the highest and it's not the lowest weight, it's like the middle weight. The one that that you can lift, but you're not necessarily struggling to lift. You know what I'm saying? And it's not so easy where you're kind of like not feeling anything. So that's the easiest way to say that. Then you have strength training. So strength, it's basically what it is. You're strong, it's what makes you strong. Okay. I don't know how else to put it. I mean, it's kind of obvious. strength is lower reps and lower reps because you're lifting your maximal load. If you're not lifting your maximal load, then you're not working on your strength training. So it should be your max. There's different things to go into about this because there's advanced, and then there's beginners, and then there's intermediate. There's all kind. I'm not gonna get into all that in this one video. So I'm just doing the basic information, the basic. If you want me to go into very, very lot of detail, then me and you should have like a chit chat one-on-one on the phone or something like that. If you really want to hear me go into big detail, because I have, but I'm not doing it in this video. So about 1 to 3 sets. Most people for strength, they do about 1 set, maybe 2. It's very rarely that I've ever noticed anybody do 3, but you know, I also don't get involved in everybody's business at the gym. I know for my strength training, when I'm training strength, I usually do 1 to 2. I've done 3 a couple of times. It just depends on what the exercise is and how I'm feeling about it. A lot of people for squats, they'll do like 1 rep, and it's usually their 1 RM kind of thing. As far as reps, it really depends on because I'm referencing my book, because personally, I say reps should be between 5, 1 and 5, not 1 and 5, should be between 5 and 6, but depending on your fitness level and the degree that you're working on as far as your strength, if you're not doing your 1 RM, and let's say you're doing 80 to 90%, you probably can do 8 to 12 reps fine. But if you're doing your 1 RM, I think 3 to 5 reps is about standard. So the save on detail, if you're doing your 100% rep, I say 3 to 5. If you're not, you're doing like 80 to 90, I don't know, 85 to 95, something like that, then probably 8 to 12 reps is fine as well. Not probably, but it would be. And then there's muscular endurance, lastly. Muscular endurance. Okay, so muscular endurance is basically being able to exercise without getting fatigued as quickly, I guess, is the easiest way to explain it without me going into all the scientific bullcrap. It's a lot of runners do muscular endurance exercises, but strength trainers and bodybuilders and stuff should do it as well. Maybe not as often, but it's good for overall health. It really is. For reps, it's usually between 12 and 15. Typically, 20 about the highest, but 12 and 15 is about normal. It's about normal. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah. 12 to 15 is about normal for muscular endurance. But like I said, I've seen people do 20 reps, and that's fine as long as it makes sense. For sets, it depends. I've heard, my professor didn't necessarily agree with our textbook, so there's a lot of for it. At least 6 sets, I think, is for muscular endurance. I think is okay. Especially since you're doing a lighter weight, or doing a lighter load, a way lighter load. You're not doing hypertrophy load, and you're not doing max strength load. You're doing a very light load, but not so light where it's not working anything. The percentage kind of is a large range of things, so I'm not going to say the percentage, but yeah, so those are those 3 things. So if you want to work on building your muscle, like you want the muscles to actually look like you have muscles, work on your hypertrophy. If you want to build on strength, do strength training. And if you want to work on your muscular endurance, do muscular endurance training. They're all a little bit different. They work your body a little bit different. They all have different sets, reps, and intensities that you should be working at, especially depending on your fitness level. But hopefully this was helpful. Sorry that it rambled and this went on for a long time. But, yeah. Subscribe and follow me on social media. Love you guys.